Hi there, everybody. It's Cassie. So this is actually going to be a surprise part three because a lot of people were asking about how I edited the photo in part one's thumbnail, as well as what I put on Flickr yesterday. Um, I didn't expect that at all, so thank you very much for being so interested. The photo that I originally edited was completely different just because when I first edited this photo right here, I recorded the whole thing. I was so excited about it. And I forgot that my OBS often displays this. So it covered up all my layers over here and it made my showing you guys all this stuff pretty pointless. So I'm going to make sure to hide it this time and we can try to get from this to this. It's a lot of over editing. Honestly, it looks really good unedited. Like I like it as is, but I wanted to show you how to do this side lighting. My original tutorial was for backlighting, and that was also the whole reason I did a whole nother photo completely because I felt like this wasn't actual backlighting. Like it's just pretty much side to side to make you have like more of a three-dimension look when you're editing. But I figured I'll try to go back in and do my best to recreate the edit I did on the other one. Who knows, maybe I'll make it look better. This is the one that I did for part two. If you want to check that out, the link is in the description, and I hope you like it. But this is what I meant more by backlighting, and you can see all that when we edit it. So let's close this and get started. Hopefully I do okay, right? So I'm just going to close this because I don't feel like back and forthing and making it look um, like trying to go exact. I'd rather do it how I prefer. Again, maybe it'll turn out better this time. You never know. First thing I'm going to do is crop though, just because I like to have things as centered as possible like a normal photograph. I feel like the landscape size of my laptop is always a bit too large for photos, so I like to crop it a little bit more. And I like to be, if you're ever looking at your crop, this is your the rule of thirds here. So you want to be able to make it where the eyes aren't ever trailing to anything on the sides or anything. Wow, how many times can I say anything? But it focuses straight on you immediately, or whatever you're focusing on in your photo immediately, and helps you have the viewer look straight at it. Anyways, the first thing I always do when I edit my photos, I say this every time, is hit Control J. You can also do it by right clicking and do layer from background, but Control J is so much easier. It's good to learn some quick keys. I'm still learning them, honestly. So we have a new layer. You can, if you ever fuck up or screw up, sorry, you can always just delete it and start a new one, or you can always hit edit undo. I think it's Control Z. But we are going to go in to, no, I don't want to go in the face first. I'll do that later because I know that you guys are like more focused on the backlighting thing. I don't know. I really prefer actually editing the face for this. What I always do. I'm going to stick with it. And this is what bothered me this first time. Oh my gosh. It took me like 20 minutes editing this out because specular light, I have the shine on my face. So it captured the light as well on the um the boxes, my lighting boxes. That felt so stupid. I didn't mean to do that. So I have to desaturate and make them match.
Hell to the no, no, no. Come on, come on. Come on. Hell no. To the
Okay, finally, I'm okay, kind of with it. Oh, no.
You better stop!
I'm not at all. That's horrible. But like I said, you can delete it and start over. Pretend that never happened. Yeah. I'm going to smudge it first this time and see if that helps kind of blend the colors in a little bit. And then start to lighten. I'm trying to remember which hair this was. I think it's Dew. I wasn't buying them for so long, and then just they kept on coming out with more hairs and hairs. Like they had such a big controversy, and I was trying not to support thefts, but they redid everything. They're doing their own thing now. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I think it's too small of a, like, it's not small. Like, it sucks that it happened, but I feel like I'm not gonna just constantly uh stress over it. And now with like the whole Little Bones thing too, like I'm not even gonna go into it. I try to avoid drama so much, but it just sucks that it happened. It's a bad situation, and I it's just Second Life, honestly. In the end, I'm not going to try and stress too much about stuff when it's something that is personally not affecting me. And also, it seems like they moved on. They apologized. They got their stuff together and moved on in life. I feel like we should do the same, you know? It's okay to eventually forgive and forget people. Like, not forget, forgive and forget situations. That's just my personal take on it. Sorry for the rant. Oh my gosh. I was telling Alvy last night that, like, because she wanted me to share the videos early with the blogger group we're in, Sinful. I was telling her I ramble so much, and you're seeing it all right now. Anyways, we are now going to go in and blur the edges of everything. Over here, I don't like, I have my smoothest on at its max, but I still don't like seeing the slight edges they are. And like, this is really high up close. You're close to the actual grid with how close the textures are. I hate it. So I just zoom in and smooth out just a little bit. Make it nice and clean. And it looks like almost, let's zoom out a bit so I can show you. It just gives like a softer edge for this, almost feathered. So it's not as intense and obvious that it's an avatar. It's always just these little things that help tweak your avatar just a little bit and help bring it up to the next level. Gonna break for a moment. I do need to figure out if OBS has like a quick key to start and stop recording for that too, because sometimes I just need a little break. Okay, so there's one thing that I didn't edit out last time, and it's just like a little tiny fabric glitch. They happen when you have certain poses. This pose that I'm in is super arched. It was based off like a gorilla's photo once that my friend made for me. So it's like super back arched, where like he had to make it in Avastar because it was like the Second Life body wouldn't do it on its own with any pose. So it does kind of look um, like there will be spots where there's clipping. It's normal. Oh, I forgot to shade over here. That was the whole point why I was doing the friggin' hair. Guys, I am the worst tutorial blogger ever. I don't know why y'all watch me. Okay. Just making it look a little shadowed because on this side it is dark. Oops, it is dark, and you wouldn't have light that way with those bangs. And already that helps. Like, it gives it more like of a depth of that, and that's always really important. A lot of people only ever focus on lighting, but shading is just as important whenever you're editing. It helps you bring the photo a little bit more to life, gives the shadow that it needs. Sometimes Second Life, the lighting is just too perfect and it doesn't make your avatar look very perfect. Or it makes it look fake for me. Just me personally. This is what I think. All of my stuff, I'm not a professional, obviously. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time, most of the time. But these are just things that I observe and feel. So I'm giving you my thoughts. And I'm still just using the burn tool. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just going in, burning, making things look blended, and then I will go in and lighten in a bit too. I'm just kind of getting my shadows sorted first. I also want, no, I'll do that later. I'm going to go back in on the face, and there's a few things I like to highlight. So first off, I hate this little light right here on my nose. It drives me friggin' insane. Hate it. So I'm going to take this with my highlight and also my mid-tone burn and just kind of darken it a little bit. I just don't like those lines there. It looks too fake for me. I also like to darken my Cupid's bow right here, but then I will also go in on the upper lip and lighten it. Now, I didn't realize that I had specular map on my lips at the time. I turned on the shine, so it did change the color of my lipstick. It was originally meant to be red, so I did edit the lipstick in post when I did the original photo. I'm also just going in and highlighting now. I was hoping I could zoom in using that. Nope. And then I also didn't like this right here, so I just used the patch tool, dragged, and got rid of it. It was like a weird line that didn't fit with the blues right here, and so I just didn't need it. Okay. I also hate when my nose has colors that it shouldn't have, so those also get darkened. Now, with the lips, there's a really easy hack for this if you ever lose the color that you were aiming for. This was like the Izzy's Natural Lip from a Leluca powder pack. So I am going to go into my brush tool. I'm going to lower the crap out of it to like 11, and I'm going to go to multiply. Let's make a new layer, a Control J, and we are going to go in and get like a light red because it's multiply. Multiply darkens. It's if you ever are wondering, these right here, darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn, and darker color. All of these darken it. These will obviously lighten it, but I feel like they always kind of leave like a screen to it. It raises a lot of the contrast. And then these are a little bit more subtle, and I use these a lot for painting on things. It's a lot easier. You can use a higher opacity with it. These you always have to use super low. And I hardly ever touch these except for luminosity. Anyways, we're going to go right on in. First, let me lighten a little bit. Lighten a little bit. I hate touching the pen tool. One day I'll learn how to use the pen tool and I'll tell you guys how to use it. For now, I have no idea. I think Daeberethwen Arbenlow did a video though, and she is a wonderful tutorial like instructor and also a wonderful photographer and blogger in general in Second Life. So I think I'll link her as well in the description below. Okay, I'll raise this a little bit. Just so you can check her out too. She does a lot of really good. She did. I don't know if she still does, but back in the time she did, and it was really well done, and I do recommend her. She did help a lot when I first started trying to learn photos in Second Life because it's a huge difference from real life photos for me. I feel like I did photography for years in real life, but I feel like it's completely different. You have to learn how to work apertures and focus, and I knew nothing about the viewpoint thing for so long, like the view angle. I feel like I was completely missing out. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. I am going to lighten my eyes for a little tiny bit. Once I add the different adjustment layers too, I will be going back in and editing again. But for now, I am doing some highlight and contour. I'm going to be sharpening the brows. It's under the blur area. So I have it at about, I don't want it at 50. I must have reset or something. I have it at about 29. Just going in and sharpening the brows just to kind of make them look like they actually are on and not just painted on, as well as a bit of the eyes. And that's it. I don't need to do my mouth. Mouth I messed up on, so not even going to focus on that. I didn't highlight my body yet, I don't think. So I want to go in, before I even go into adjustment layers, I'm going to go in over here. I know I keep zooming in on my face right after I get out. I'm going to use my brush tool here. I'm going to keep it on mid-tone here, and then I'm just slowly going to, very, very small brush strokes, lighten it up. Because again, light is coming from the right-hand side. It's good to look like it on your avatar as well. It makes no sense for it to just be there and not on you. So just gently, I mean, you can use the selection tool if you want it just on there, but sometimes it gets a little jagged for me and I get a little frustrated. So I prefer using a soft brush and just kind of going in and painting where I want. It's just a little easier for me. So I'm just going in, making it a little bit lighter. Okay. I'm going to do that right here too. And all the way down. Just bringing in that light. Now, there's also brushes that I'll be showing you as well. They'll be in the description below. DeviantArt is an amazing resource for that. I got mine when I was doing, it's for a series that's coming out soon. I can't really give you peaks yet, but it's, anyways, let's go on with this. So I'm already liking how this looks a lot. Now, let's finally have some fun with this coloring. So this is blue on the left, pink on the right. So I want to accentuate that a little bit. We are going to go into soft light and raise it to about 75. Wow, right on the money. It never happens for me. Oh, that's way too high. JK, let's get it at like 38 apparently. And we're just going to bring the light over. You can click on it a few more times and add to it. I like to go to white once it's keep going over this area just to add an actual light source to it. Or you can go up here if you want to. And that just adds to the lighting that's already on your face from the projectors as well. It helps brighten it even a little bit more. And on the other side, yeah, you're probably guessing it. We're going to go blue. Just a little. Not as much as the red since we're doing shadowed on this side. I'm also going to go into the hair though and just not that bright. Let's go lower. So like 17 and lighten it. And it's totally okay to undo stuff all the time. I do it constantly. It's all right. Sometimes it just, you're messing around and trying to figure out things. It's okay. It happens all the time to me. But I'm obviously not even a pro, so I don't even know why I'm comparing myself to that. All right. So I'm not going to touch all this stuff yet. I am going to merge my layers. Right click, click merge down. Oh, I want right click merge all. Flatten image. There we go. And I'm going to go to image, adjustments, HDR toning. Now use this super lightly because you can get this completely overdone in seconds. It can look horrible. Like if you barely add a little bit more detail, it can look so fake and crappy, and you just got to be super light and super like careful how far you go when you're messing with these settings. So HDR toning is cool. It helps bring out shadows. It helps bring out details that you might not normally get when you're editing. It helps bring out wrinkles and lines, and I love it, especially for real life photography. Virtual photography is harder though because you're working with a flat skin and everything. There's no ridges in it like there were for system bodies. Like, I'm obsessed with my smile lines and such. So again, go really gentle with it. Gamma will change like the lighting with it. Exposure will change. It'll make it kind of grayish, like the lighter you go. Here we go. The gamma does that apparently. So again, you got to just use it gently, tweak it. Sometimes if the photo is too light, it's like impossible to get it correctly. Like it takes me forever. So also with the detail, you'll notice you'll start getting like kind of odd lines. So sometimes when needed, I'll do a motion blur to try and clean that up a little bit. So I'm not going to do it that detailed, though. I'm pretty happy with it right here. And we'll save. Already this looks incredible, though. And I haven't even gone to the adjustment layers. I haven't made it 3D yet. So we're going to Control J again. And we're going to go in first with exposure. Exposure is my favorite. It adds a little bit more detail to it as well. I always mess with the offset first, and then I go in with gamma correction, and then see if I need to add any exposure. And again, it just adds a lot of lighting to it where it needs to be. I like the gray tone a lot because most of real life there's also gray unless you add vibrance. So it just adds to me wanting to get that real life image. We're going to go to brightness and contrast next. Oh, so pretty. And then if you want to mess with curves and change the color you have, like if you don't want to have the red and blue, you can easily change that. Click around and see what color you might like. Oof, crazy. But I like them. I am going to raise the curves a little bit though. It's very cool. Like, this is making me so happy. I'm liking this way more than my original photo, if I'm honest. But I'm happy with these now. I'm going to make one more layer because I didn't touch that one. And I'm going to put a mask on both of these. There might be a quick key for that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a vector mask though. And I'm going to right click, go to blending options. I could probably just do it right there, but that's fine. I'm going to click the R, so we have the red on top. And then right here, we're going to click the G and the B, and that makes it teal. It's the Roijabiv. No, it's not. It's the red, yellow, blue, and then the magenta, cyan, yellow, I think. I don't know why there's green. I don't know. I'm a noob. Anyways, we are now going to go to our select tool. Make sure you have the show transformed controls on at all times too. It just helps if you ever want to rotate things in general. But if we're wanting to have red be on the edge on this right to make it look a little bit more 3D, we are going to go over here and hit your right arrow. Right? No, left arrow. Left arrow. So this is normal. I'm going to click it once and twice. And then I want a little bit of line above my mouth, not beneath it. So I'm going to click down once. No, I don't like that. Up once. There we go. See, it's all about trial and error. So you can see very subtle lines over here. You can see the eye, so it's okay if you want to ever like erase that part and have it more focused on the face. Like it's okay if there's spots you don't want 3D, you can go in and clean it up. By the way, it's Do, and then this is Vanilla Bay, and then this is Real Story. I think Real Story was at Enchantment. It was cool looking. And the eyes are Izzy's as well from like a Harajuku themed Uber, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm going to merge these layers again. Control J for a new layer. And now we are going to go into Sharpen, just Sharpen Normal. And then we are going to go into Noise, add Noise. If you want to use my smoke brushes that I recommend, you can go down here and use them. You can use how you want. Make sure you have, why is it on normal? I don't want normal. Step back, step back, step back. Soft light, that's what I wanted. That was probably why it was crazy earlier. I had to lower it a lot because of that, probably. So you can add smoke. It's a really nice brush. They come with several, and you can change the shape if you want. You can always rotate your screen if you ever want to get different angles with certain smoke. It's neat. I don't really care either way. I don't really need smoke at all. I just think it could be cool for your photos if you ever want to use it. I like to use my dust particles though. And they are up here. A lot of my things, like I have hair over here, but a lot of them I make or I get them from DeviantArt as long as it's okay. Make sure you always check their TOS of the creator for these brushes to see if you can use it for private use or consumer use. It's always just good to check. So now I'm just going in with soft light and these dust particles just to add a little bit to it. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to make this one a little smaller. And that just makes it kind of perfect for me. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for it. I'm done. This definitely looks better than my first trial, honestly. Like, where is this at? This one. I like this way better than that. I feel like I went way too shadowed with these. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel different, but that's how I feel. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for today. This was a really long video. I'm exhausted now, so I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.